The United States military has intensified its air campaign against Iran for a sixth consecutive night, striking key civilian infrastructure across the south of the country early on Friday, killing at least 7 people. Iranian state media reported that American precision strikes destroyed strategic transit bridges in the coastal city of Bandar Kamir, while separate aerial waves heavily damaged the Iran Shah airport and a vital railway junction station in Bandar Abbas. The direct targeting of transport links follows a formal confirmation from US Central Command, which stated that a coordinated force of fighter jets, warships, and combat drones successfully degraded dozens of Iranian logistics, coastal surveillance, and air defense installations. In immediate retaliation, Tehran launched extensive ballistic attacks against American military infrastructure in Bahrain and Kuwait, declaring the strikes a justified act of revenge for the homeland's fallen martyrs. The conflict spilled further into the Gulf as Qatar's defense ministry reported intercepting multiple incoming missiles over Doha early on Friday, with authorities confirming that a child was wounded by falling metallic debris. The rapid expansion of the combat zone appears to mark the end of the brief interim deal, returning the region to all-out war, despite President Donald Trump declaring in a primetime White House address that Washington is winning big in Iran.
Andy Burnham has been named as the Labour Party's new leader and is set to take over as the UK's 7th Prime Minister in a decade on Monday. Burnham was announced as the new head of the party at a special press conference on Friday. Burnham vowed to sweep changes to British politics and criticised his generation of politicians for not doing enough for working-class people across the UK.
We are united, and we put the power that comes from that unity at the service of people and places who have been waiting too long for politics to let them hope again. And that's what we're going to do, everybody. We're going to give them hope back.
Burnham has focused on the idea of devolution, pledging to help power flow into other parts of the UK. He also said he would put an end to trickle-down economics and neoliberalism and undertake the largest council house building programme since World War II.
The Prime Minister.
Overnight strikes on Ukraine have killed 7 people over the last 24 hours, according to officials, and injured dozens more. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky said the Kremlin targeted a number of areas across the country. Local officials reported attacks in the northern Sumy and Kharkiv regions, the southern Odessa, Kherson, and Zaporizhia regions, as well as Donetsk, part of the industrial Donbass region. Zelensky says Russia fired more than 130 strike drones, most of which were intercepted, and 8 missiles across the border into the early hours of Friday. The strikes targeted civilian areas as well as energy infrastructure, causing power outages in several regions. Meanwhile, Kyiv has been conducting strikes of its own targeting Russia's energy sector, which it says has been the financial arm of Moscow's war. The Russian Defense Ministry says its forces intercepted 243 drones fired from Ukraine early on Friday, targeting oil facilities and energy grids.
The narrow stretch of water behind me is one of the world's most important trade routes, and Iran and its allies are now threatening to shut it down. The Houthis in Yemen, backed by Tehran, are reported to be preparing to close the Bab al-Mandeb Strait, which is just behind me here. It's a move that would send shockwaves through the global economy. It's widely seen as Iran flexing its power across the region, a second front alongside its pressure on the Strait of Hormuz.
The European mission down beneath us is simple. It's this to change that to protect the ships that come through to keep this corridor open. Seeing this from the air, you understand the scale of what's at stake. What looks like a thin strip of water is actually one of the most important things to the European economy right now.
That is why the EU's foreign policy chief, Kaja Kallas, is here in Djibouti. Today she signed a new security agreement with the Djiboutian government to ramp up Europe's presence and visited both the EU's naval missions patrolling these waters, warning that recent Houthi missile attacks on Saudi Arabia are a sign that instability on land becomes insecurity at sea.
It's about more than supporting European operations. It's about keeping one of the world's economic lifelines open together.
Aspides defends shipping in the Red Sea, and in just over 2 years, it said it's protected more than 670 merchant ships and saved 128 seafarers. Atalanta, running since 2008, guards against piracy off of Somalia. If this strait were to be choked off too, with Iran already disrupting Hormuz, the cost would reach European homes and businesses. For now, Europe is moving to keep this open.
U.S. President Donald Trump doubled down on claims of voter fraud and interference during a primetime address to the nation on Thursday. The U.S. leader has previously used such assertions to deny his loss in the 2020 election. Trump said he would release classified documents that showed Chinese interference.
Over a period of years, starting during the 2020 election cycle, the People's Republic of China carried out what is believed to be the largest compromise of election data in history, resulting in China's illicit acquisition of 220 million U.S. voter files.
His renewed allegations contradict previous investigations that could not find any evidence of significant voter fraud in the 2020 election. Democrats warned that Trump was trying to revive the false claims ahead of November's midterms, in which the Republican Party is facing political headwinds over the war in Iran. Trump's claims risk straining ties between Beijing and Washington. Earlier this year, Trump met Chinese President Xi Jinping in Beijing, describing him as a great leader and a friend, and extended an invitation for the Chinese leader to visit the White House in September.
Christopher Nolan's highly anticipated film The Odyssey, inspired by Homer's epic poem, is being screened in theaters around the world. Greek teacher Philip Manjaris is looking forward to seeing the film, but for him, The Odyssey is much more than a movie. It is part of his everyday work. In the classroom, he introduces his students to the adventures of the king of Ithaca, striving to inspire them with the beauty and enduring value of ancient Greek literature.
Είναι ένα καταπληκτικό λογοτεχνικό κείμενο, μέσα με το οποίο μπορούν τα παιδιά να ταυτιστούν, να δουν στον εαυτό τους ίσως τον Οδυσσέα, αλλά να δουν και το δικό τους τόπο. Η Οδύσσεια είναι μια ιστορία που εκτελήχθηκε εδώ, στην Ελλάδα. Εγώ ως παιδί, όταν ήμουνα στο χωριό μου και έκανα την Οδύσσεια, έβλεπα, εκεί που έβλεπα την Αυσικά να πλένει στο πηγάδι, έβλεπα τη μητέρα μου που με έπαιρνε παιδάκι και πηγαίναμε να πλύνει τα ρούχα με τον ίδιο τρόπο.
Students are encouraged to examine Odysseus' intelligence in relation to his physical strength and to debate whether his killing of the suitors was a justifiable act.
Είναι μια ιστορία που μας διδάσκει πολλά πράγματα και μας λέει να μην τα παρατάμε και να χρησιμοποιούμε το μυαλό μας και όχι τη βία και πιστεύω ότι πρέπει να συνεχίσει να διδάσκεται.
Beyond the classroom, many children first encounter the Odyssey through theatre. Actor Manos Pindis portrays Odysseus in a stage production designed for children and teenagers. The acclaimed actor believes that in addition to entertaining young audiences, the play helps them build a deeper connection with the Homeric world.
Δεν λες το παιδί απλά διάβασε την ιστορία με το ζόρι, γιατί θα κλωτσίσει το παιδί. Όταν το επιβάλλεις κάτι, κλωτσάει. Όταν βλέπει όλο αυτό να εκτελήξεται μπροστά του, είναι ένα λιθαράκι στο να μάθει και να μάθει και μάλιστα να μάθει με τη θέλησή του.
The production regularly attracts families as well as school groups from Athens and the surrounding regions.
Right now I'm gonna make some small highlights like this is shining, so everything will be more realistic and more round. The sun is gonna bounce, so this sharp line here gonna be even more sharp, and the eyelids I'm gonna work a little bit on.
They give you a wall or a canvas where you can express yourself, you can do your art and give your culture to others and take culture from others.
Sì, e per quello sono proprio gli avamposti delle culture alla fine che permettono, ecco, lasciano ed aprono delle porte al mondo del cinema, ecco, a grandi pubblici che magari ad oggi non si andrebbero ad infilare dentro un cinema al chiuso d'estate, stiamo all'aperto, è bello.